Hey everybody, it's Tom and T from Show Me Coasters, and today we're going to be doing a park battle for all three of the Missouri parks.
We haven't done one of these in 2 years since we first started, so this time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to assign points to every aspect of the parks just to get a fair assessment of what all the parks of Missouri has to offer.
So we're going to split the video into different sections, the first being the inventory of what the park physically has in it, such as the coasters, flat rides, kids rides, and their water park attractions.
Also, the extras like the cave and RV sites. And the second segment we're going to address is the themings, which will address food, shows, and festivities that happens year-round among these three parks.
And then lastly, we'll be taking a look at the full overall experience at the park, and also addressing their Halloween and Christmas festivities.
Yeah, the fall festival and Christmas. So let's get started.
First, we're going to take a look at the roller coasters.
Let's look at Six Flags St. Louis. Six Flags St. Louis has 9 coasters, 6 of them being big. The Boss, Mr. Freeze, American Thunder, Batman, Ninja, and Screaming Eagle. And the 3 smaller ones are the Pandemonium, Mine Train, and Boomerangs.
And for the big coasters, they have a potential of getting 20 points apiece, and then the small and medium coasters have a possibility of getting 15 points each.
So we have 6 big coasters and 3 medium to small. There's on the big coaster, we downgrade a couple of them, the Ninja and the Screaming Eagle. The first one is the Screaming Eagle. Yes, it's over 4,000 feet long, but it is rough.
Right.
It sometimes can be painful.
It's gotten really rough last season.
So out of 20, we're going to give the Eagle 15, and the Ninja is rough and painful, so out of 20, we're going to give it 8 points.
Now, Pandemonium being a medium-sized coaster, we gave it the full 15 points. It's still very smooth and very enjoyable.
And the Mine Train and the Boomerang. Mine Train, it's old. It's 50 years old, yeah. So, but I give it 10 point out of 15. Boomerang?
Yeah, Boomerang, those are just awful.
Painful. I do not like these Vekoma Boomerang. So we give it 8 points. We're going to give another park 8 points to be consistent.
And this is going to give Six Flags St. Louis a total of 136 points. So let's take a look at Silver Dollar City's coaster lineup. And Silver Dollar City has 5 big coasters, and then they have 2 smaller coasters.
So the 5 coasters are Time Traveler, Outlaw Run, Wildfire, Powder Keg, and the Thunderation. We're going to downgrade 2 of them. Powder Keg, we're got a potential of 20 points. We're going to give it 17 because of the mid-course break that stops all the momentum. Otherwise, it's still an enjoyable ride. And
Thunderation, which is their mine train, we're downgrading that one to 15 points just because some of the transitions can be a little rough. But otherwise, it's a really great
scenic ride, yeah.
It's a really great mine train.
And the 2 smaller rides, Fire in the Hole and Grand Exposition Coaster. Fire in the Hole, it's more of a flat ride.
Yeah, it's more of a flat ride than a coaster.
But it's still fun when it's hot outside. And the Grand Exposition Coaster is a kiddie coaster, so neither one of us can ride. So we gave it 6 points. So that brings the total points for Silver Dollar City to 109 points. Now let's look at Worlds of Fun. It has 7 coasters. 4 of them are big coasters, 2 small to medium size, and 1 kid coaster. So out of the 4 big coaster, one of them is going to be downgraded, which is Timberwolf. It is a little bit on the rough side.
I think it's a little bit not as bad as it used to be. They did the retracking in 2018. So it actually rides a little better except at the end.
Toward the end, yeah. And we're going to give Boomerang 8 points like Six Flags St. Louis. And Spinning Dragon, same as Pandemonium. The Cosmic Coaster is going to be given 6 points. This will give Worlds of Fun 104 points total.
So currently, Six Flags St. Louis leads with 136.
Silver Dollar City 109 points.
And Worlds of Fun at 104.
Let's look at the next category.
So let's take a look at the next category, flat rides. And we're going to start with Six Flags St. Louis again.
Six Flags St. Louis has 17 flat rides.
And that's one of the drawbacks for Six Flags St. Louis. They really need more flat rides.
It's not that bad. So, out of 17, we upgrade one and we downgrade one. The one that's upgraded is Battle Metropolis. Six Flags and Sally Corp spent over $100 million develop this technology for these flat rides. And they install to most of their parks around the nation. I think maybe 5 or 6 don't have it right now because few of them, the new acquisition and the one that can't have a DC theming. Another one that we downgrade is the Moon Car. Our antique Moon Car is on the short side, so we gave it 5 points.
So this gives Six Flags St. Louis 175 points for its flat rides.
Now let's look at Silver Dollar City.
So Silver Dollar City has 10 flat rides, and we're going to upgrade one just because it's new.
The Mystic River Falls, plus it costs the same as a brand new roller coaster at $30 million.
Yeah, it's a major investment for Silver Dollar City.
Other thing about Silver Dollar City is their flat ride is for older kids and adults. It's very small, and you practically have to look for it if you want to ride these things because they're thrown in with the kids section. So the 3 that stood out is American Plunge, the Giant Barn Swing, and what's the other one? That's Tom and Hut. Otherwise, these other flat rides are in the kids section that's in the park.
So this gives Silver Dollar City a total of 110 points for flat rides.
Now let's look at Worlds of Fun, the king of flat rides. This park has so many flat rides, if you fall out of one, you'll probably land on another. One ride we're going to upgrade is Steelhawk, the Mundau Windseeker. I like this model much better than the Skyscreamer, the Funtime Starflyer.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoy the Windseeker models.
And, plus they play music, and I think you feel more secure. And it is taller at 300 feet.
And one thing about Worlds of Fun, their flat rides, they have really good...
Great collections.
Great collection of flat rides. And so out of that brings their total to 205 points just for the flat rides.
So the total point overall after 2 categories is Six Flags St. Louis has 311 points. Silver Dollar City has 219, and Worlds of Fun has 309 points.
So let's take a look at the next category, which is going to be the kids areas.
Let's look at Six Flags St. Louis, and our kids lineup is really sad here. When they moved this section over from where American Thunder was, we had like about 10, 11, and I don't know what happened. Only 2 are in here. The noticeable one that's missing is the
Kiddie Coaster.
The Kiddie Coaster, the Hot Rod, and the Speedy Gonzales, the Convoy.
Speedway, the little convoy, yep.
But, yeah, it's way below the average, which normal park has about 15 or 16. But Six Flags St. Louis really need to address the kids section. And
I've been expecting them to do a big remodel of the kids section.
Yeah, it needs to be.
Turn it into Bugs Bunny Boomtown or something like that.
It's discombobulated. It's laid out on a path. We don't have a distinct kids ride section, which is, aesthetically pleasing and pretty to the eyes.
This gives Six Flags St. Louis a total of 90 points for their kids rides.
Yeah, we only have 9 kids rides here.
So the next park we're going to take a look at is Silver Dollar City. Now, Silver Dollar City has 2 distinct kids areas.
It's a little bit better than Six Flags St. Louis, but...
they have the Grand Exposition of 1892, and they have...
the Fireman's Landing.
Fireman's Landing.
Yeah, this too, like we said before when they did the flat ride is mixed in with the kids ride, so... It's a little bit better, but it's still below national average of about 15 or 16. And a lot of it came from Celebration City at Fireman's Landing.
Yeah,
where the kids ride. So this gives Silver Dollar City 120 points.
So now let's take a look at Worlds of Fun. And Worlds of Fun really takes the cake when it comes to kids rides.
Yeah, they have... It's supposed to be 23, but we only saw 21 flat rides in the Planet Snoopy. And... this rivals Kings Island, which has won many awards for best kids ride in amusement park. If Worlds of Fun would have been in a heavy population area, and it's a great collection, folks. And the area is beautifully decorated and themed, and it's just so many flat rides. You can occupy the small one the whole day here.
So this is going to give Worlds of Fun a total of 210 points for their kids section.
So after 3 categories, we have Six Flags St. Louis 401, Silver Dollar City with 339, and Worlds of Fun run away with 519 points so far.
So our next category we're going to take a look at is the water parks. Six Flags St. Louis, we're going to look at first. They have 9 attractions at their water park.
Some park want to, split like a tube slide complex where they have 4 or 5 different tube slide individual, but we got to group them as one, and so that only brings it down to 9 instead of 13 or 14 that Six Flags St. Louis listed. So this gives St. Louis 90 points.
And next we are looking at Silver Dollar City. Now their water park, Silver Dollar City's Whitewater, is separate from the park itself.
And what I don't like about this is that it's not attached to the main park. You have to drive 6 miles into Branson, and it costs extra. So, for me, I like the whole complete park, and that's a downside to Silver Dollar City is that you get hot and only 2 or 3 water rides in the park. And at Worlds of Fun or Six Flags St. Louis, you can jump between the dry park and the wet park
as much as you want.
Well, yeah, this is the only thing. And this is actually a very small water park with only 8 attractions.
So that's going to give Silver Dollar City's Whitewater a total of 80 points.
Now let's look at the Big Bad Wolf. That is Oceans of Fun in Worlds of Fun in Kansas City. This park is loaded with 21 water ride attractions. When it opened in 1982, this was the world's largest water park.
And this is an awesome water park. They have so much stuff that you can do here for everyone, for the whole family.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful water park, and there's so much to do here. I could spend a whole day here. Just enjoy the summer.
And so that's going to give Worlds of Fun's Oceans of Fun a total of 210 points.
So for the extra, Silver Dollar City is going to be reward for 2 things that it offer the family and publics. We're going to give 50 points for the cave, for Marble Cave, and another 50 points for the campground options. And we're also going to give Worlds of Fun 50 points for offering the campground next to the park. So after 5 categories, we got Six Flags St. Louis with 491 points. Silver Dollar City with 519 points, and Worlds of Fun with a whopping 779 points. Now let's look at their themings and shows and foods.
So for our next category, we're going to take a look at the theming overall at the parks. And we're going to award 100 points for first place, 75 for second, and 50 for third. Now, hands down, our prize goes to Silver Dollar City for theming. Their employees are always in character, and they are so accommodating and so welcoming there at the park. It's just an extraordinary experience going there.
And the whole park is themed like 1880, so there is suspension of disbelief there.
So they get 100 points.
And the second place, I think, Worlds of Fun.
Worlds of Fun, I think, takes second place also.
There's this distinct section there, Jules Verne.
Yeah, and the park is immaculately decorated and maintained.
Themed to Jules Verne around the world in 80 days, and you distinctly know what section of the world you're at. And the third part, Six Flags St. Louis. Yeah, it's a DC Warner, but it's not as strong as other Six Flags park. We'll give that 50 points to Six Flags St. Louis.
So the next option we're going to look at is the food options. Now, hands down, again, we're going to go with Silver Dollar City with the best food in the industry. We're giving them 100 points for this. They have several sit-down full-service restaurants as well as an all-you-can-eat buffet and many other options throughout the park at stand-up kiosks.
And their cinnamon bread is to die for.
So the next one that we're going to look at, second place, we're going to award to Worlds of Fun, and that's because we think that their barbecue restaurant is better than the one at Six Flags St. Louis. Cotton Blossom really upped the game for Worlds of Fun as far as food options. They also
have, offer a coffee place, which Six Flags St. Louis doesn't offer. Also, the cinnamon bread is pretty good. So the third place we'll give Six Flags St. Louis. It does have good options for families, but we're going to award more than to the third place, 50 points. We're going to give it 62 points.
And their food quality is, I don't think, is quite as high as the other 2 places. So the next category we're taking a look at are the shows. Now again, hands down, we're going with Silver Dollar City and awarding 100 points.
They have so many options, from bluegrass to country music to gospel and Cirque Soleil style to magic shows for kids
and Broadway style shows that just
Broadway
are
style,
absolutely amazing.
So a lot of people don't realize that, but it gets a lot of attention during Christmas, but year round, Silver Dollar City let's have a great lineup of shows. So the second one and third one, I don't know.
I think it's kind of a tie between the both of them.
Worlds of Fun and Six Flags.
Six Flags. Their shows are pretty much the generic,
like
rock and roll review or country music review or saloon show.
Occasionally we'll get gospel bands at the Old Glory.
Amphitheaters, yeah.
So we're going to give a tie for second place for shows non-holiday season at Worlds of Fun and Six Flags St. Louis. How many points do you want to give it?
I'm going to give 75 to each.
75 to each? Okay. Theming, food, and shows. Six Flags St. Louis comes to 678. Silver Dollar City comes to the total of 819. And Worlds of Fun comes to a total of 1,004 points.
So the last category that we're going to look at in this subsection is going to be the festivals. Now, hands down, again, we're going with Silver Dollar City and giving them 100 points because they have festivals throughout the whole season.
And we're going to give it a tie to Six Flags St. Louis and Worlds of Fun. They have similar theming with Carnival during the Mardi Gras season and for Worlds of Fun and Mardi Gras
for Six Flags St. Louis.
So it's similar theming. We're going to give both of them 75 points.
And the next category we're going to take a look at is the Halloween season.
The fall season.
Hands down, we are going with Worlds of Fun on this one. Their haunt season is amazing.
Spectacular. And it's free with admission. Six Flags St. Louis will get second place with 75 points. It's not, because it costs extra. And Silver Dollar City, it's brand new. They're kind of not
still
really
working out the bugs.
But they're not really into the Halloween. They're more
it's not a scare.
It's pumpkin nights. It's more a fall festival than anything. This brings the total point for Six Flags St. Louis at 828, Silver Dollar City with 969, and Worlds of Fun at 1,179 points. So the last category is the Christmas season. Hands down, Silver Dollar City with 6.5 million lights. Also,
the shows
and everything is open. All 7 coasters are open. Now let's look at Worlds of Fun and Six Flags St. Louis for the Christmas season. Worlds of Fun is beautifully decorated with about 5 million lights, but the downside to how Cedar Fair does business during the Christmas season is that they condense their hours. Only 5 hours on weekend and certain days only 4 hours, so you felt rushed. Yeah, there shows. They actually have more shows during Christmas than Silver Dollar City. But I want to give this park second place, but for me, I feel cheated out during the Christmas season at Worlds of Fun or any Cedar Fair park because the hours are very short. You only have 4 or 5 hours to have fun. Six Flags St. Louis is not as beautifully decorated and only about 2 million lights, but 9 coasters, 7 of it is open. So you got have things to do.
You have a good selection of rides,
but their show is awful.
Their shows are not good.
It's the same entire 3 shows. So we're gonna give Silver Dollar City 100 points and Worlds of Fun and Six Flags St. Louis 75 each for their Christmas season.
And that's going to bring our running totals to Six Flags St. Louis with 903 points, Silver Dollar City with 1,069 points, and Worlds of Fun with 1,254 points. And our next category we're taking a look at is the overall appearance of the park. Now, to me, Silver Dollar City wins this for just their overall, the way that they theme everything and have everything landscaped. It is immaculate. You totally get submerged into that 1880s feel.
And second place would go to Worlds of Fun with their Jules Verne Around the World in 80 Days theming, and their park is clean and it's beautifully laid out.
And it's wonderfully landscaped.
Yeah, the third place with 50 points is Six Flags St. Louis. This park needs a lot of help upkeeping. So we're gonna give it third place for 50 points.
And that's going to bring our totals at this point to Six Flags St. Louis with 953 points, Silver Dollar City with 1,169, and Worlds of Fun with 1,329. Okay, so our last and final category that we're going to take a look at is the overall park experience.
Yeah, Worlds of Fun, in my opinion, is the closest to being almost perfect. They're about 3 coasters short of being the #1 park in Missouri, and they have great kids section, the great flat ride collection, and a humongous water park. Also, and so Six Flags St. Louis, not the number is not as high as Worlds of Fun. Yeah, they have the most coasters in Missouri, but the kids section is weaker than anyone else. Also, but they do have water park attached, and their flat rides is amazing. What's your thought on Silver Dollar City?
Silver Dollar City, I think, is just amazing, but I am not someone who goes specifically just for the rides, for the thrills. I like to go and relax.
For
and
escape, yeah.
Yeah. So Silver Dollar City, for me, is a really awesome park. It's my favorite park out of all 3.
So for amusement park enthusiast like myself, I think Silver Dollar City is this incomplete park. The water park is not attached to it. You have to drive into Branson, 6 miles away, and their flat ride collection, it's very low, and you have to look for it, and that's the downside. I mean, I enjoy the food and the atmosphere, but I want to do other things too while I'm there for 9-10 hours.
Yeah, and T is a bit more of an adrenaline junkie than I
Yeah,
am.
so
And the only other drawback that I have for Silver Dollar City is that it closes at 6 p.m., so you don't get a full day of fun.
So the final tally for all the 3 parks are Six Flags St. Louis at 1,028, Silver Dollar City with 1,219, and Worlds of Fun at 1,429. So do you agree with this result, Tom?
For overall, yes. I think the experience that I get at Silver Dollar City is a little bit better.
It's different, yeah.
I much prefer Silver Dollar City. I could spend a whole day there and just have a really good, relaxing day. But if I'm in a mood for coasters or whatever,
Or just relax in the water park and stuff like that.
And Six Flags St. Louis, I mean, you get a better selection of coasters at Six Flags St. Louis.
Worlds of Fun has a great flat ride, kids ride, and water park selection. So my park, I'm gonna pick Worlds of Fun for me because I'm an amusement park enthusiast. It's almost a complete park. It's, I mean, extra good 3 coaster, and this park is the true #1 park in Missouri, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Worlds of Fun, I've always had a great time at Worlds of Fun whenever I go up there, no matter what the reason is that I'm up there for.
But yeah, I mean, Silver Dollar City, that does offer you something different. It is a theme park, so that's why we compare this, and you have to give it the award them for what they offer. The other 2 parks don't. But this is our park battles. Agree, disagree. It's just a fun piece.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the video. This is Tom
This T.
from Show Me Coasters. Have a great day.
Thank you.